Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. For those of you who are new here, she's Karri.
He's Bob.
And this is Life Redesigned, and we are a couple of 50-something-year-olds who decided to sell everything and hit the road full-time in our RV and present you with videos of what RV life is like from an average Joe point of view. If that's something you would like and a little more honesty in your YouTube watch criteria, hit the subscribe button below because Karri likes to upload new videos twice a week. And today, speaking of new videos, we're going to talk about something that, well, I'm going to let you tell today's topic because I think this is an important one.
Uh-oh.
What do you got from the Book of Knowledge today, Karri?
Be ready, people. Be ready. Before buying an RV, these are the things that you need to know.
3, 2, 1.
Now, we had done our research tremendously, an overwhelming amount of research before we hit the road full time. And guess what? Yeah, we were wrong on pretty much everything that we researched and everything that we were told. And we're going to share with you our advice if you are looking to do this lifestyle full time and you're just starting out. And if you've been doing this a long time, you might want to pay attention too, because there's something in here for everyone. Number one, Karri.
Picking the best time to buy.
Now, this one here, I think we've covered this a couple of times, and we always recommend skip that RV show because all you're going to do is get flooded with brand ambassadors and you're going to get flooded with salespeople that probably aren't even from the same region that you're shopping in. They bust them in to cover the mass amount of people that come in and come out. Those sale prices you can get pretty much anytime if you know how to present your deal to that dealership. Now, Karri and I bought our RV in November, and we specifically picked that time because that's when most sales were down in the RV segment. Now, if you can't wait, again, go to that local dealer, put your price out there, work the deal just like you would anywhere else. You don't need a special RV show event to get you in the door to do that.
Nope.
Oh boy, that's going to feed a whole lot of people's opinions, I'm telling you.
Oh, yay.
All right, what's the next one, Karri?
Is know your tow vehicle and your tow limits.
Now, this is going to be specifically for people with a travel trailer such as us. Now, when Karri and I left our home in New Hampshire after we sold it, we had a GMC 1500 and we went down, we picked up a Redesigned 22 MLE, I believe it's 2023 to be exact. And we were always told that 80% is where you want to be. You didn't want to go over 80% of your gross vehicle towing capacity. And we did that. And we were within spec, but it didn't feel right. So we bought a new truck. We bought a Ram 2500 that easily tows Humphrey behind our truck without even knowing it's there. But I've seen a lot of people on the road that rely on somebody else's input. You have to do your own research and know your vehicle's limitations. I've seen a lot of rigs on the road that should not be on the road, and Karri knows because I yell it out, squat, squat, squat down the road. If your truck is up like this and you're over capacity.
You're driving like this.
Yeah, so you really need to do your research. Go with somebody, don't just trust your dealer. Go with somebody who knows, look out for forums, check Reddit. The tow police on Reddit are amazing. And they'll tell you everything you need to know about a truck, even if you just ask what color's the best. Next.
Set a firm budget.
Oh yeah, so now this is the one thing that Karri and I did really, really well. We had a budget that we wanted to stick to. We knew we were paying cash, and we basically did just that. By following Rule 1 and Rule 2, it was pretty easy for us to go in and say, we want this particular RV, this is the price that we're going to pay. Where we see a lot of people get upside down immediately is walking in, buying the first RV they see because they think it's kind of cool and catchy, and then they hit the road and they owe, $20,000 in finance fees, and this is no joke.
Extended warranties.
Extended warranties and stuff like that. So you really have to set your budget, know what it is, know what you comfortably can, even take it in some of the expert opinions that are out there all over the place. Take your time, do your research, know your boundaries.
Yep.
Next one.
Don't sleep on insurance costs.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh, I hit the snooze button about 4 times because I thought insurance was going to be just the way it was when we had our little mini Celly that we would tow around, our little Winnebago. I thought it was going to be the same as what it was up there. It's not, because now you are talking full-time RVers insurance. And when you're full-time, that adds another layer of cost. Also with us, the rates that were in New Hampshire were a fraction of what they are in Florida, where we domicile out of now. So really, again, this is something that I failed on, and I'm a numbers guy. Totally slept on the actual cost of what insurance is going to be. Do your homework. Before you sign that paper at the dealer for that RV, I recommend highly calling your insurance company first and see what those charges are, because that can really throw off your entire budget.
True.
Next.
New versus used.
Okay, I've heard this little theory all the time about buy used because you'll have somebody's bugs already worked out and they're already the depreciation, all these other stories of, buying used. And then there's the other side like me that doesn't want something that somebody else pooped in. The last thing you want is to be driving down the road with somebody else's poop in your tank. At least that's just my experience. Now, a lot of the times buying used, yes, can save you a substantial amount of money, but you really have to take into account who was the person that owned that before you. Now, if you're lucky enough to know the guy or gal that owned it prior to you and you know they took excellent care of it, that's great. Most of these places, they just take them in like these dealers, took ours in, didn't even look it over, gave us a price and it was within our means and they took it. They had no clue what the history was, what problems we might have been hiding or anything. We weren't, but you never know. They didn't, again, they just looked at the outside and went, we'll give you X amount of dollars. And they turned around and they sold that within 48 hours. There was no inspections done, there was no nothing. And that's what you can run into buying used. And again, same time, buying new has a whole nother set of problems too. But at least you have, if you believe it's any good, you have a warranty to fall back on. So you have a little more buyer protection.
Yep. Financing versus paying cash.
What's your take on this one?
I don't think I would ever finance an RV if I couldn't pay cash for it, then I don't need it.
I agree with you 100%. Now, we know that not everybody's in the financial position to do so, but whenever possible, live within your means, especially on the road, because that can change dramatically your approach to things. I'm a firm believer in you pay cash or you don't get it, and apparently you agree with me yet again, young lady, and it just saves you from all the problems. Now, when we go to trade in, we don't have to worry about losing money because of finance charges and percentages of interest and stuff like that. We know what we have into it, and it makes it a little bit easier.
Well, what is the, it's 5-year, 10-year? What is the?
From what I have seen, 10 years is the norm for an RV loan.
See, that's a lot.
And personally, I feel that an RV after about 5 years of full-time use, mind you, traveling full-time use is pretty much spent.
Yeah.
So you do the math there and kind of, look at it that way. Next one.
Size matters.
Oh, okay. So yeah, size does matter. And again, Karri and I are probably of the, just from what we've seen, we're the minority in this one. We believe that the smaller you can go, the better. It makes getting in and out of parks a lot easier. 30 amp, we never have to worry about, is there a 50 amp service, because we have 30 amp.
But being comfortable.
Now, our friend Dave and his 55-foot land
yacht.
Has, he has those requirements of 50 amp and stuff like that. Dave, we love you. I'm just giving you a hard time, buddy. But I could never fathom just driving that big, massive thing and maneuvering some of the places that we've been. And Dave's been equally as beautiful places. And probably will tell you that sometimes, that big thing is, another problem. But he has, 8 bathrooms and 6 bedrooms, and he has all these little things that we don't have. And Dave, I'm slightly jealous.
Well, hello, how is your day?
Next one. Join us, shall you? Next one.
Test everything.
Absolutely, and this is something that Karri and I, yet again, did not take our own advice, and test all the systems before you do anything. And that is not only to make sure it works, but to make sure it's going to work for you. Now, I'm going to show you something because I didn't test something. And as you can see right here, hopefully that picks that up. I got a big gouge on the top of my head. Why? Because I didn't test whether my head was going to fit between the bathroom sink and the medicine cabinet when I wanted to wash my face. And I basically took about 3 inches of skin off the top of my dome And I've had this happen quite a few times. Had I tested that, I might have chosen a different model that, or I would have just maybe thought differently about that. One of the things I hate about our RV is that position of that medicine cabinet.
But you usually use the shower. What was the difference today?
Because every once in a while I want to be different.
Like,
but that's the point, is test things to see if they're going to fit you. Karri's only 4'4" tall. I'm 6'2". It makes a big difference in where things are positioned.
I can't reach the top cabinet.
And yeah, and it's just the way it is. So you got to be able to test these things, go through it, have fun. We're having way too much fun for a little video today.
Have an inspection.
Are you serious? Have an
Really?
inspection.
Look at your head. Have an inspection.
Now, this is the one thing that we didn't do. Karri and I were so
No.
excited after we sold the house. We drove immediately from the closing office straight down 17 hours to South Carolina to pick up our new RV. And in
Yep.
the excitement of doing this and finally realizing our dream was coming true, we totally forgot about having an inspection done. And, well, things happened that were bad. If you've been around the channel, you know.
Yep.
By having an inspection, whether it's new or used, that could have eliminated some of the problems. Maybe we would have still kept Humphrey, maybe we would have gone somewhere else. There could have been a whole bunch of different things done. But I had that rig signed and paid for before I even really walked through it. Never again will I make that mistake.
No.
Next one.
Check forums for unhappy campers.
Oh, now, if you think the comment section of a YouTube video is a place for just bad behavior and negativity, you have seen nothing yet compared to online forums about your particular RV. Now, Grand Design has a couple of great forums that are not run by Grand Design. They're run by Grand Design owners.
Yep.
And those owners love to talk about all the bad things that's happened with their rig, as well as a lot of good stuff in there. But by sticking to a forum such as Reddit or Facebook groups that has experience from real owners, a lot of this stuff could have been avoided. And I probably would have known about my head a lot sooner because I know it's happened to other people because I've read about it.
Yeah.
Next one.
For new, can you work with your dealer?
Now, I will say this, if you're buying an RV and I don't like you, I'll firmly recommend Campers Inn out of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and just for the simple fact that they are horrible people to deal with. Everybody from the manager to the service manager, all the way up to the vice president of the company gives zero craps about their customers.
Now, what should have been simple, because we were going in and paying cash for this thing, it should have been, okay, you like it? Well, we should have had an inspection and didn't. Did the paperwork and you're out the door. That didn't happen because Mr. F&I man, finance, are you sure? 5 times I told him I was going to walk out the door. They are just relentless. They're crappy people. Don't do it.
So much so that they were so disgusted with the fact that we were not going to finance, and we
Yeah.
turned down the $3,000 savings if we
Ugh.
had finance, that they mailed our titles somewhere that wasn't supposed to go. They did, all the paperwork was wrong. They basically blew us off on warranty stuff. We had a broken skylight. For those of you who've been around a long time, you know what that ordeal was like. And finally, to get it resolved, I had to email 85 people in Grand Design for someone to get back to me, and mail from their social media department finally resolved the issue of the bad skylight. Now, that cost us about another $2,200 to stay in the area because that dealer couldn't get the job done because they didn't care about anything other than the sale and you were off. Now, if that had been an issue where I needed the black tanks fixed and we weren't in Texas at the time and I had to worry about having them fix it, oh, geez, the headaches, it would have just been tremendously bad.
Well, I didn't know when you have a warranty started, you have to stay there and have it completed at the same place.
That's another thing.
I didn't know that.
So we've heard this quite a bit, that if you have a warranty process started with Grand Design, for instance, and that's the dealer that started it, you have to have it finished there. Well, if you're full-time and you travel, that kind of sucks, especially if that dealer is Campers Inn, Myrtle Beach.
That
I'm done
sucks
talking about
equally.
that. I should have done a video one day, and I didn't do it. Next
Anyway,
one.
buy your RV not from an influencer.
And I'm going to say this, as an influencer, when people ask us what's the best RV that they can buy and what do we recommend nothing. We tell everybody to do their own research, get out there, see these units for themselves. everything that we've mentioned in this video we recommend doing, because at the end of the day, whether somebody's on YouTube or somebody's in a social media post or whatever, influencers are influencers for a reason. Whether it's a brand ambassador, whether it's just an associate of the company, they're all there to sell you something. And I don't care who it is and how many videos they put out about why them being a brand ambassador is good for you. At the bottom line of everything is they are there to promote something to you. You need to do your own research and find out if it is something for you. We run into way too many people on the road that wish they did not buy the rig that they bought because they bought it based on somebody else's recommendation. That is something you don't want to be in. Any situation ever. You want to buy the RV for you that's going to work for you for a long time, because that will, in the end, not only make you happy, makes your spouse happy, but it also saves you a hell of a lot of money.
And headache.
And headaches, absolutely. If there's anything that you think that we've missed, let us know in the comments below. Karri loves replying to each and every one of your comments, because we are those YouTubers that reply to every viewer's comments. Whether it's 6 months from now, if you're replying to a video that was done when we first started about Ocean City, Maryland, we still reply to those comments, even though you shouldn't be watching that video because it was trash.
And some I have to go back and rewatch because I don't remember.
From Life Redesigned, I am Bob.
I'm Karri.
And we will catch you in the next one.